Tanzanian market. My name is Readlay Makaliki from the SADC Center for Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency, a subsidiary SADC institution that is based in Windhoek, Namibia. And I'll be moderating this session. I would like to invite my speakers on the panel. Most of them are coming from the private sector, starting with Geraldine Sande as a business development manager from Schneider Electric. Then we have Felister Assenga from Davis and Shirtliff. Then Gerald Kafuku, Principal Research Officer from Costech. Swaleh Hassan, Business Development Manager from Gadgetronics.net. Then we have Vane Aminga, the Senior Technical Analyst from Azelio. Floris van Zuilekom, I hope I got it right. Business Development Manager from Hydrobox Africa. And Dario Taveso, CEO, Genius Water. And, it appears okay, they are sufficient. The last one, but not the least, is Peter Scott from Vane Manufacturing, Chief Executive Officer. Please join us. So this session is going to have pitch presentations from each of these private sector companies, and it will focus on the innovation as a key driver for economic growth, development, as well as climate mitigation and adaptation in Tanzania and across the world. This pitching session will put a spotlight on the innovative renewable energy technologies and solutions, emphasizing the real-life examples from the field in Tanzania and neighboring countries. Luckily, I've also been given a slot to make a presentation in relation to what we are doing in the region, in the SADC region, and linking that to the components that we want to come up with regarding productive use of energy. So kindly avail my presentation. So the overview of my presentation is I'll talk about the institution where I'm coming from, which is SACREEE, and then the project that I'm lead technical expert on, the Energy Efficient Lighting and Appliances project. And then we'll look at the regional renewable energy solutions and technologies available specifically, I think, for the SADC region and EAC, in that Tanzania is both a member of the SADC as well as the EAC. And then to link this to the new component we would like to embark on productive use of energy. So for a start, the SADC Center for Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency is based in Windhoek, Namibia. Like I said, it was established in 2015 by the SADC energy ministers with a mandate to promote renewable energy and energy efficiency in the region through a market-based approach. And we're doing this through policy harmonization in the region, knowledge management, capacity building, and investment promotion. Though we are not providing funding, I think we link would be developers, project developers to financing institutions. So the map on the right shows the coverage that includes the country of focus today, which is Tanzania. Coming to the Energy Efficient Lighting and Appliances project, where I'm lead technical expert. This is a project that is sponsored by the Swedish government through SIDA and managed by UNIDO. It is implemented in 21 member states in the SADC region as well as in the EAC, 16 in SADC and 5 in EAC. And the objective of the project is to transform markets in these two regional economic blocks to energy efficient lighting and appliances. And we are doing this through various approaches, which are highlighted here. The first one is to provide market incentives for the private sector to come on board on the project. And with this, we ran some grant funding expression of interest, where we invited private sector from the two regional economic blocks to come up with innovative business models that can promote energy efficiency projects. The second pillar of approach we are doing is the development of minimum energy performance standards for the various appliances, which are prioritized by the member states. We have so far developed minimum energy performance standards for lighting, which have been adopted both in the SADC region and in the EAC region. With collaboration with UNEP, we are now looking at developing of minimum energy performance standards for room air conditioners and also refrigerators, which we hope to finalize by the end of the year. We have also carried out various capacity building activities on policy and regulatory framework development, appliance testing, and regulatory enforcement. During the preparatory phase of the project, we did a survey regarding the existing testing capacities in the region, and they were found to be inadequate. So as a project, for the maps for lighting that we developed, we provided portable test equipment, which is available to each of these 21 member states. And then through some selection criteria, we selected 3 countries for capacitating in the stationary labs, which will be used as reference labs to test products or some procedure that cannot be managed by a member state that do not have facilities. And these countries are Uganda, Zambia, and Mozambique. The last but not on the list of the approach to change is that we look at awareness raising, and we do this through the various, before COVID, I think the various forums we attended. We present on those forums like I'm doing now. And then we had a series of webinars which we ran through the COVID period, where we invited various stakeholders from our member states within the region and beyond. On the right, we have the partners that are working on the project, UNIDO being the project manager for this, Swedish Energy Agency being the one leading in the capacity of testing centers, then CLASP, which helped in the development of minimum energy performance standards for lighting, and then the Swedish government, of course, the funder of the project. And our centers, SACREEE in East Africa, based in Uganda, and SACREEE in Southern Africa, based in Windhoek. So in terms of the renewable energy solutions and technologies found in the region, I picked SADC member states here. In the case of Namibia and Zambia, we see that for Namibia, the approach was to modify the market structure, where traditionally, I think within the region, we have a national utility that is involved in all the activities, starting from generation, transmission, and distribution. And this, in certain cases, makes it difficult for private sector to come on board, because there are prolonged negotiations in terms of maybe agreeing on a tariff that the developer is proposing. So Namibia came up through the Electricity Control Board, came up with what they're calling a modified single buyer model, where at least part of the energy requirement, up to about 30%, that an energy user would like to have, comes directly from an IPP. So this came into effect in September 2019, and so far, at the end of 2021, May, there were 15 registered contestable customers and 5 energy suppliers. So the contestable customer would be the energy user, the large energy user, and the energy supplier would be the IPP in this case. And of June 2020, applications to a total of 105 gigawatt hours have been licensed by the regulator to operate under the modified single buyer model. For the case of Zambia, there was some policy reforms that were done in the electricity sector, which introduced some open access. And with this, we saw the coming on board of an intermediary off-taker, also, I think, alleviating the problems that the IPPs face with the a single buyer model market. So with this, there's Greenco, which was established in 2020. And the idea is that they would buy power from independent power producers and be able either to sell it on the Zambian market through the ZESCO utility grid, or since they are a member of the Southern African Power Pool, be able to trade this power on the Southern African Power Pool. The requirement, I think, by SAP for membership were reviewed. You don't necessarily need to own um, transmission or generation equipment. I think the provision is just that you should be able to trade a minimum of 5 megawatts. So by May 2022, institutions such as PDG, IFU, and EDF Electrify came together and put up 15.5 million US dollars to enable Greenco to scale up its innovative offering to the Zambian as the first renewable energy buyer and service provider. This amount will support the portfolio of up to 110 megawatts of renewable energy projects. And so far, Greenco has awarded its first power purchase agreement tender to a 25 megawatt pilot solar project that is in Sesheke in the western province of Zambia. So once this model proves to be successful, it will be replicated across sub-Saharan Africa, having potentially a transformational impact on the region's renewable energy sector. So those were the examples from the two SADC member states. In the case of Tanzania, I think following up, I think in the presentations that was made in the previous session before lunch by EWURA, we see that there also was the development of a framework that supports small power producers, and they regulate from a minimum of 15 kilowatts going upwards. But even if you are below that, in case you have connected 30 customers, you need to apply for permission to be able to operate your network. So ideally, we see that in the terms of the innovative solutions and technologies that are given, they focus on the technology itself, the delivery model, the legal framework, the market structure, plus reforms and financing mechanisms, including some incentives. The solutions are technology neutral, and they focus on no available renewable energy technologies like solar, wind, PV, geothermal, biomass. But we've seen, I think, from the examples that I've given, is that solar has been dominating because of the easy installation and completion period that is there. So we link this now to the first slide that I talked about on the energy efficient lighting and appliances, which we are doing in the region. We see that there are synergies between the renewable energy and energy efficiency, in that replacing the traditional use of biomass with modern and efficient forms of cooking and heating helps to raise the share of renewable energy on one aspect, but it also improves the energy efficiency of cooking and contributes to the delivery of modern energy services. If we look at electric mobility as well, electric vehicles achieve about 3 times the efficiency compared to the internal combustion engines. And then the most of forms of generation, renewable energy, wind, solar, PV, so offer efficiency gains which are superior to those of fossil fuel and nuclear power generation. So achieving the objective of renewable energy depends on also achieving the objectives of energy efficiency, and they both provide for access because the virtual power stations, I think, can be used to connect additional customers on the grid. Similarly, I think both energy efficiency and renewable energy reduce pollution and greenhouse gas emissions, and both energy efficiency and renewable energy promote increased access, I think satisfying SDG 7. So in the new component that we are proposing under the energy efficient and lighting appliances project, is the component that will go beyond the provision of electricity just for lighting. I think we want to uplift the livelihoods of people in the remote areas where access to energy is quite low. So this will go beyond just providing lighting, but providing also equipment that can be used for productive uses, that is increasing economic activities in the rural areas, so as to increase the revenue and disposable income for our rural community, and finally improving their lives. So the objectives of this component will be to implement measures that target the development of markets and stimulate the uptake of efficient appliances and equipment uh, and in the off-grid areas by providing an enabling environment for stronger private sector engagement, facilitating access to finance for farmers, micro and small and medium enterprises, and improving the quality assurance and strengthening the research and innovation. And for the quality assurance, we'll be working closely with Veroso so that the products, I think, that will be finally deployed for productive use purposes will be those that will be of good performance and long lasting, so that this idea is not providing equipment that maybe can work only for a month or two and then fail, which would discourage our rural community in enrolling on this productive use equipment. Thank you so much. I think this wraps up my presentation. I would like now to call upon my first speaker, Madam Geraldine Agandi from Schneider Electric, to come and make your presentation. I don't know if you make it from there or it's best.
Good afternoon. As Schneider Electric, we believe that access to energy and digital is a basic human right. Looking at and bringing it really back home to sub-Saharan Africa, we have done a lot of innovations in the past, and I want to take this session particularly to focus on what exactly we've done in sub-Saharan Africa and bringing it home to Tanzania and all the projects that we have that are currently running. Our portfolio had been previously shared by my colleague Olivier Jacquet, but I want to use this presentation to actually try and break down how we have different applications across. So our first offering, which is something that we are very proud of, very innovative, is what we call Mobia, which is mainly individual electrification. This is a solar lantern solution whereby we would ideally give it or pitch it to projects where it is being used for individual households. Initially, when we brought up the Mobia product, it was mainly to be used in the humanitarian sector. We have done a lot of work, collaborative work with the UNHCR, where we have rebranded and recolored the product to the UNHCR blue color. And this is actually distributed within the refugee camp. And it was and it still is one of our anchor products. And even if we look at it right now in Tanzania, over and above the refugee camps that we have existing in Tanzania, this product is being distributed, and we are very confident that it will still continue being our anchor product. The second range of products that we have is the domestic electrification offering, and this is whereby they're known as the solar home systems. So as we manufactured or we designed the solar home systems, we were mainly targeting the households. In Anglophone Africa, as we look at it, we partner up with last mile distribution partners who already have the networks. They do have the teams in place to actually be able to distribute the product, do the installation, offer after sales service for these particular solutions. Then as we continued with the SHS, we actually got a call from the industry to come up with a hybrid system, a hybrid inverter, which is actually able to avail more source of power, more source of energy to the domestic space. And with this, we brought in the Humaya hybrid system. Now, if we look at it, in the grand scheme of things, we have a lot of productive use activities that we are running across the greater sub-Saharan Africa, in East Africa, in Tanzania, where we are running pilot projects with farmers to run solar water heating pumps, to run drip irrigation. We are looking at running of milling, grain milling systems, and this is really to make an impact towards the livelihood. Then, lucky to this event, we used yesterday as the launch of a new entrant, which I'm going to explain in my next slide, which is called the Humaya Pro. The Humaya Pro actually is an improvement, a bigger capacity solar hybrid inverter that allows the productive use to actually go all the way to scale up from 0 to 24 kilowatts. This means that we actually are able to target more collective, I mean the health centers. We are looking at schools, we are looking at marketplaces, and this really, again, increases our level of impact. The next product that we have is called the Vilaya. As the name says, we've designed this product to actually target the villages. And with this, we have both containerized solutions. For containerized solutions, this means that you actually are able to move the product from one site to another. The main application for this has been mainly, again, in the humanitarian and in the emergency sector, where you'd find that maybe there's an occurrence that has happened and the Red Cross actually do need lighting of their offices, which are temporary in that area. They would come to us as Schneider Electric and would be able to put together this particular solution. The final one that we have is the training. And as an industry leader, it has come very clear to us that to be able to support all these different product ranges that we have, it is very important that we invest heavily on training. In the whole of Anglophone Africa, we have a total of about 48 equipped learning institutions. When I say equipped, I mean Schneider Electric actually donates lab training equipment within the electrical lab. When I bring it home to Tanzania, we currently have 9 fully equipped electrical labs. And this means that all the youth and all the young people who enroll into these institutions are able to get either 3 months courses or 6 months course that they are certified. And the courses really are to support all our offerings, not only as access to energy, but globally as all the other solutions that we offer as Schneider Electric. And this really has changed our sustainability, or rather the ecosystem of our offering, because once the project is done, then we would have young people who are able to offer after sales service. They're able to do scaling up of the system. They're able to do other innovative activities with that initial site that we provided, even once we have handed over the project to the community. So for this particular slide is now to introduce how the Humaya Pro, and this is the product that we had ideally brought in, and it is really revolutionary because for the Humaya Pro, as I mentioned, it is a solar hybrid inverter that is able to take power from grid, whether you have a generator, and solar, sorry, I was almost forgetting the solar bit, and solar panels, and together you're able to make sure that you're able to support your electricity need or your power need. With the Humaya system, we are looking at offering reliable energy for rural homes, offering reliable energy for communities, for healthcare, for education, and productive energy for rural livelihoods. Now we are not discussing only handling one farmer at a time. but rather looking at how collectively the farmers can come together, able to pay for the product, whether upfront or towards some financial aid, and they're able to continue with their livelihood in a collective way. The other product that we launched yesterday is our Mobia Original. Remember initially when on my first slide, I touched that we had, it is our anchor product that we give to the UNHCR. And out of feedback from the industry, we have improved some of the features that we have from this lantern. One of the key features that we have done improvement on is the replacement of the battery. So now once the battery's life is out, you are actually able to replace the lithium ferrophosphate battery. It has a battery life indicator. Remember, again, it's just an individual lantern. However, we know, and looking at where we are applying it, which is mainly in the humanitarian sector, it's really important that they are able to know how much power they have remaining within it. We also have a lot of ease in terms of mounting, whether you're putting it on top of a bottle, you're hanging it on a hook, and looking again at the demography of the shelters that we see in the refugee camps, or even where we look at the villages in the most of the rural areas within sub-Saharan Africa, having an agile product that can be able to be applied and installed in different ways really gives us a change. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Geraldine, for your presentation and staying within time, and highlighting also the use of productive use equipment going beyond just the provision of electricity to our rural community. I would like to call upon Felister Assenga from Davis and Shirtliff to make a presentation. Next. Do we have a presentation?
Okay.
Okay.
Good afternoon. My name is Felister Assenga from Davis and Shirtliff. Davis and Shirtliff is a well-established company in water and energy solution. We have about 76 years of experience. Our head office is in Nairobi, and here in Tanzania, our head office is in Dar es Salaam. Our key business are on water pumps, water treatment, borehole solutions, swimming pool equipments, generators, solar, and irrigation. I'll take you straight to the point. What are the innovative renewable energy solutions that Davis and Shirtliff offer? Uh, as Davis and Shirtliff, we've seen the importance of having the access of clean and safe water to our community. That's why we came out with a solar-driven water treatment solution that cuts across all the beneficiaries from the domestic level, commercial, and the community level. We have a water solution that can treat water from any source of water to any application. Our slogan in water treatment is we give you the water you want from the water you have. So you have any source of water, we have the solution to treat it with solar solution and give you the water that you need. In this matter, we managed to install one big system in Arusha. I'll explain this further in my next slides. Coming to solar solutions, we are best known as the solar pump suppliers in the country. And now we've come with the innovative solutions for solar powered system. Initially, most of us are aware that we used to have the DC pumps the small pumps that have so much limitations in terms of amount of water they can deliver, the transfer distance they can be transferred. So we have lots of limitations in terms of huge applications. But now we have special controllers where you can use any electrical driven pump. You can be using it with solar. With that inverter, you can even blend two sources of power or three sources of power if you have grid, if you have generator, and you have solar. And you can be assured that you'll get the constant flow of water from morning to evening. As we know, most of the DC pumps, they just work depends on the irradiation level. So there is a variation in terms of amount of water. But with these special controllers, you can be assured of getting constant water from morning to evening. Coming to irrigation, as we know now, the irrigation is very vibrant. Even the government is really supporting the irrigation activities in the countries. Devs in Shirtliff recognized the potential, and we came up with the solar pumping kits that can be affordable for small-scale farmers or even in large pumping application. So we have the solutions in case of any irrigation activities. Also, we have the hand pump replacement. We have seen that it's very uh, it's not very easy to get the amount of water that you need from the hand pump. You just use your own energy to generate the amount of water. It's very it have so much limitations. Devs and Shirtliff recognize that, and we come up with a solution that is termed at the Sun Tower. It's a plug and play system where you have a solar pump complete with accessories. You have the solar structure, you have the solar panels, the tank, and the tank tower, complete all in one. It's just plug and play system. Wherever that you install the hand pump, you can replace with the sun tower. Yeah, this is one of the real case example, the water treatment system that has been running with solar. We installed this system in Arusha. It's up and running. It's producing 120 cubic meter of water per hour. We just installed 4 number of RO system desalination plants, particularly the removing fluoride to a level that is less than 1.5 ppm, which is recommendable for drinking water. This system is saving around 5 villages, around 50,000 people in Arusha. They are beneficiaries from these products. It's a solution that we've done with Water Aid funded by DFID. And this system is powered by 80 kilowatts solar system. It's a grid combination. It's a grid tie system. So they managed to reduce their operations costs by more than 50% because this system is operating by prioritizing solar all the time. It also has 2 booster pumps, 30 kilowatts each, pressurizing water around 5 kilometers. And here the pictures of the system that has been installed. These are among pictures of the real case scenarios. We have solar pumps, 20 kilowatt installed in Manyara. We have irrigation pumping kits that I explained earlier. We have the sun tower, the replacement of the hand pump, and we have done lots of CSR activities in the country. And that picture is one of the CSR that we did in the country in Mwanza. We've done a lot. So this is one of the products that is very critical when you are doing a CSR. Whenever you want to replace a hand pump, you can do it with the Santa solution. And bear in mind that we do support every product that we sell. We have in-house technicians, we have workshop, so we do support and provide after-sales service through warranty and through service contracts in all our products that we offer. Thank you. You can reach us through displayed contacts. We have our head office in Nairobi, in Dar es Salaam with the call center and all the contacts from other branches, Zanzibar, Arusha, Dodoma, Mwanza, Mbeya, Morogoro, and Kariakoo. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Felister, and also highlighting that you are also doing R&D by, I think, overcoming the challenges that we were faced with DC pumps. Now we have inventor which can have a hybrid of power sources from solar, grid, and other sources for, I think, the PU equipment to be able to operate maybe 24/7. Next on the panel is Gerald Kafuku, the Principal Research Officer from Costech, to give the presentation.
Okay, thanks very much for having us here. I think I'm the only government speaker here, and I should be very brief because I'm not going to do marketing. Our job is to give service. And correction, I was an officer some 5 years ago, so I'm now the Director of Innovation and Technology at the Tanzania Commission for Science and Technology. We are a parastatal institution, a government entity by the Act of Parliament, and we are mandated to promote, facilitate, and connect science and technology based on our key instruments, which are the National ICT Policy of 1996, which you have seen the previous speakers talking about equipment, which I can see mainly imported, but we are promoting, according to our policy, we are promoting independence of some key technologies. So we promote research innovation, also promote reverse engineering. So we would love to see someday we see speakers presenting on, we have a kind of manufacturing plant somewhere in Dar es Salaam or somewhere in Mwanza. So I give a challenge that one of the big issue of acquiring these clean technologies is upfront cost, and which is highly associated with importation cost and transport. So if we try to reduce that cost by trying to fabricate or manufacture locally some of the parts, I think we will be able to meet the goal of sustainable economy. So as I said, we support research, technology, and tech transfer to every sector, including energy and climate. We also support piloting of ideas, commercialization, research results in all the sectors, including climate. But we are the ones who are hosting the National Fund for Science and Technology, where we receive requests from stakeholders, including private sector and NGOs, who will have to pilot the ideas, but those ideas which are locally originated. We really like to see those. But if there's an idea from abroad that can be highly adapted here, customized here, we also support that. So we support both imitative innovation and research innovation. These are some of the examples according to sector. We support the transfer of technology through cluster initiatives where we gather people in groups, SMEs, individual members. We link them to R&D institutions, the government, to reduce the barriers to investment, the barriers to accessing infrastructure of the research and development and expertise, even to reduce the barriers of the linkage between the R&D institutions and the private companies. So we do kind of facilitating the fusion of these climate technologies and clean. But we also, at the Costech, we are the focal focal institute for the CTCN. I think some of you know about CTCN. We are the national entity for that, and we support climate technologies through technical assistances and the accessing of the global funds like GCF. We have some examples of the accomplished projects. I think one of the last one, we are developing the enabling environment for e-mobility in Tanzania, where we will have to introduce frameworks, standards, capacity building, and awareness, which is ongoing. We're also part of the SACREEE, where you mentioned about the energy efficiency. We're also part of the program in Tanzania and the SACREEE. So we support every sector, and we give fund, we give technical assistance, and we give linkage assistance. So like I said, I may not have many things to do because I'm just giving free services. I'm not doing marketing, but my call to you or the private sector is to at least to live or to at least go along with our national policies and our national visions that we will have to see at least some many parts of this equipment that you are advocating are locally fabricated. Thank you very much, and that's my contact. You can reach me.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kafuka. And thank you, I think, to the Tanzanian government and other maybe partners that are providing funding for the research, because I think it's only through research that you can come up with innovative solutions in these developing markets of renewable energy. Next on the panel is Swaleh Hassan, a business development manager from gadgetronics.net. Is it there?
Good afternoon. My name is Swaleh, Business Development Manager at Gadgetronics.net Limited. Gadgetronics is a supplier, consultant, designer, and project implementer for various types of energy, security, and communication solutions. We are also a service base for the repair of all the goods that we distribute. We have more than 60 expert technicians, more than 10 engineers from different fields. And we specialize in a variety of areas, including communication, energy systems, electric vehicle conversions, networking, security, and surveillance systems. Through our partnerships, we represent a number of well-known international companies in their pursuit for developing, testing, and promoting clean energy technologies, as well as other services that empower individuals and businesses within Tanzania and beyond. We provide energy and water solutions, and basically what we do is we distribute inverter chargers, grid tie inverters, solar panels, solar charge controllers, solar pumps, solar water heaters, and everything that you can think of within the solar energy space. Those are some of our energy partners from Victron Energy, JA Solar, Freedom One, Fronius, AES, Lawrence, Suntech, Sundanza, Grundfos, and the likes. So we only work with manufacturers who give us full support, because at the end of the day, our client requires this support from us. As you can see there, that's one of our lovely projects done in Ngorongoro. This was a 20 kilowatt peak system for a small lodge within Ngorongoro called Lanspo Camp. In terms of our innovative solutions, we do renewable energy solutions for everyone. So basically, we do solar off-grid power solutions and grid tie systems. We do turnkey renewable energy and power solutions to homeowners, businesses, organizations, and institutions, from as low as 250 watts all the way to 3 megawatts. We do solar water pumping and filtration. We believe clean and safe drinking water for communities is very vital, and not just communities, but health institutions, hospitality industry, for irrigation, and so much more. We do solar water heating and refrigeration. So here we speak about access to hot water for hospitality, learning, and health institutions. We also supply WHO standard vaccination refrigerators, solar freezers for fishing cooperatives, customized solar chillers, for butcheries, fish markets, restaurants, and hotels. Some of okay, what's happening? Some of the projects that we have done, these are just 3 of the projects that we have done. We've done almost a 175 kilowatt peak project in Serengeti for Lahia Tented Lodge. There's some technological issues, I think. Okay, we've worked with a manufacturing company for beauty products called Inaya Zanzibar. This is an AC/DC coupled system, and we have done a grid tie solution for one multinational, DHL Tanzania. I believe everyone knows DHL Tanzania. Okay, I don't know what's happening. And if you're able to take a photo of the QR code up there, it will take you to our website, which showcases all our projects. I don't know what's happening. Maybe someone else is controlling. Okay. So all in all, we've done 1,000 plus solar power plants installed in Tanzania. We've done more than 6.2 megawatt peak projects within Tanzania as well. 523 million kilowatt hour of energy storage. Of electricity generated since 2014, and 1.4 megawatt hour in terms of battery storage. Our offices, our headquarters in Arusha. We have a branch here in Dar es Salaam. We have some more branches in Arusha, and we are opening in Zanzibar and Dodoma very soon, hopefully in Q3, as well as Nairobi. We will be having a distribution center. Those are the QR codes also to some of our locations, and yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Solwa. And thank you for your trick of attracting attention by flipping the slides. Next on the presentation is Vane Aminga, Senior Technical Analyst from Azelio.
Hello, good afternoon. So my name is Vane Aminga, and I'm a Senior Technical Analyst at Azelio, based in Sweden. And I'm very happy to be here today. So imagine a scenario where you have a chicken farmer somewhere in Tanzania, or somewhere in Uganda, or anywhere in Africa, or anywhere in the world. The chicken farmer needs electricity for the breeding process. And they have a grid, which is unstable. And sometimes they also have the extensive fossil alternatives. So for the farmer, they want to move to clean power. And intrinsically, the first thing they're going to think of is to get solar for their daytime operations. But what if the farmer also wants to extend their renewable utilization throughout the night? There is a gap, and that is where long duration energy storage comes into play. We know that lithium ion, for example, sometimes you can size it for up to 4 hours, but it becomes very expensive if you size the system to last throughout the day, throughout the night. So for you to be able to get a 24-hour cycle, that's where you need to think of long duration energy storage. So Azelio is a Swedish company. We are a clean tech manufacturer, technology manufacturer, and we've been around since 2008. Currently, we are in the market with our game-changing long-duration storage solution called the TestPod. And the TestPod can actually dispatch clean electricity for 13 hours and over. This is a thermal energy solution, and you can imagine a cube with an aluminum tank inside it. And we charge the units by basically providing electricity from a renewable source, such as PV. So the PV electricity is stored as energy in the aluminum, in the molten aluminum alloy at phase change at 600 degrees. You dispatch this heat to a Stirling engine. For those that understand the working of a Stirling engine, you dispatch the heat to a Stirling engine when you need to produce electricity, say at night, and you're able to produce 13 kilowatts per unit for 13 hours and longer. And with this, you also get low temperature heat at 55 to 65 degrees Celsius that can be utilized, for example, by the chicken farmer that I talked about, because they need the temperature to regulate the breeding process. So with our solution coupled with PV, the farmer that I talked about will be able to have a 24-hour renewable cycle, which is clean, cost competitive, and reliable. And this is this is where Azelio comes in. Some of our key target sectors are communities. We are looking at the CNI space in the production, in the extractive industries. We're talking to mines, we're talking to off-grid resorts. We are very, very competitive when you compare the cost analysis with the operations where there's a utilization of diesel. In the agriculture space, the farmer that I talked about, and other farmers in water desalination, and so on. So long as you need power for 24 hours, we have you. So we're making the difference globally. Currently, we have our verification projects in Sweden and in Abu Dhabi. And on a commercial level, we have, and we just recently got our DNV verification. This is a third-party verification that, of course, new technology requires to get into the market. For the commercial projects, we have a global presence. We have projects in Sweden. We have a project at the world's largest solar farm in Dubai. And closer to home, closer to Tanzania, we have our first project in the continent is in South Africa, where we are working with a chicken farmer, We Be Limited, and we are currently installing the project, hopefully to launch or commission the project in September this year. So We Be Limited, for those of us that are familiar with the energy space in South Africa, was struggling with the ESCOM grid. We Be was also struggling with the expensive fossil alternatives, and they needed to move from that. So we're installing solar in our units at the farm, and with that, we are going to provide a 24-hour cost-effective renewable alternative to what they had to support their commercial chicken production, and in the process also save over 300 tons of CO2 annually. And I understand there are lots of farmers such as We Be across the continent, in Tanzania, in Kenya, everywhere, who are looking for an alternative to the grid or to the extensive diesel alternatives. We are here, we have you. And why am I here today? Our system has been verified by DNV. This is a third-party verification. We have our European supply chains. We are ready. We've ramped up our production, and we are now ready to get into the market. We have projects that you can visit and see that they are actually functioning. The product has been tested and validated. We are here today. We want to speak to investors. We want to speak to partners. We want to be able to work together to provide projects or work on projects together, and in a cost-effective way without the farmer having to incur that initial investment cost. So if you feel like this is something that you'd be interested in, come talk to me. Visit azelio.com and see what we are doing. Investors in the room, we are happy to work together. Partners, people with projects, people working with end users. We are happy to talk after this. Just if you see me, just stop me. And these are my contacts. Thank you.
Thank you, Vane, Aminga, for your wonderful presentation and I think it's an opportunity for the poultry farmers to take advantage of your innovations. Especially, I think during winter, they find it a challenge if you're not connected to the grid. You resort to charcoal. You wake up in the night to go and light a brazier and put in the poultry room for the chicks to be kept warm. So your solution is welcome. Next on the presentation is Floris van Zuilekom, Business Development Manager, Hydrobox Africa.
Thank you very much. Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Floris van Zuilekom. I'm the Business Development Manager of Hydrobox. And there has already been a lot of talks about a lot of people living without electricity. And that was also the situation for our founder and CEO, Mr. Joe Magiro. He grew up without electricity until he was 14. Then he decided to make his own hydropower plants using nothing more but scrap metal and his brother's bicycle dynamo. And 3 years ago, he met our other CEO, Thomas Poelmans, and together they developed a company called Hydrobox. We're operating in Kenya at the moment, in central Kenya. You can see at the map, but we're also expanding to Western Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, and DRC. And the technology that we're using is hydropower. As you can see, there's one of our models that we're using. It's a Hydrobox. That's hence the name Hydrobox. It's a turbine in a container, so it's easy to move, and we make use of the run-of-river principle. So with very low environmental impact, we try to generate as much electricity as possible. So far, we have 3 power plants operational, and we're now moving to a project portfolio of 7 projects in total that we will roll out in the upcoming 2 years, all with the goal to empower 1 million East Africans by 2025. So for us, like, producing power is... Uh-oh. Did I ruin it? So for us, producing power is not really a big issue.
We lost the screen here. Please assist.
Is the screen there working? Okay. Okay, so I just don't know which screen I'm at. But yeah, for us, producing power is not really a problem. The challenge for us is more like how to sell the power and make sure that we sell all the power that we produce, because we produce power 24/7, and we also want to sell it 24/7. So I'm not sure which slide I am now. Oh, can I? That's perfect. Thanks. So we use the business model of the anchor business customer model. So what we first do is we look at a tea factory or a cement factory, a big consumer close by our plant, to make sure that we can sell as much power as possible. Then we connect businesses, thank you, businesses, for example, Safaricom masts, but also hotels, schools, and hospitals. And that's already where our social impact is. It's back, nice. But what we really want to do is to provide affordable power to households. And therefore this model, on the one hand, we're able to have a good return on investment because we sell most of the power that we are producing, but we can also provide an affordable tariff for household customers, which is between 15 and 21 cents per kilowatt hour. But here it doesn't really stop, because if you produce power 24/7, you also want to increase social impact. And we want to do that by productive use of electricity. And there has been already quite a lot of talks here about productive use of electricity. We really try to promote that using this impact wheel. So on the one hand, we provide power to agriculture sector. We recently also purchased a cooling container for farmers to store their produce. And the nice thing about the cooling container is that it consumes power during the night when no one else is using it, and it releases cool air during the day. So that's also what we try to do with e-mobility. We partner with a company called Opibus. They changed the name recently, but they provide electric mobility, electric motorbikes. And again, these charging stations, they charge at night when no one else is using it, so that's good for us. So the battery swapping stations will be charged at night, and they can use the power during the day. The other three impact ways that we're doing is working together with Close the Gap to provide computers to schools that we connect to our electricity. Because on the one hand, it's nice to connect the school to affordable electricity, but it's better if they can also use it using computers. And the areas that we're operating in are quite rural, so some of these schools, they don't have even electricity, let alone computers. And then we also partner with a company called Break that can provide free Wi-Fi for students to use. And also they consume a lot of our power using data computing. For the rest, we support hospitals, giving them a stable base load, and we support the incubation for entrepreneurs in our project areas, making productive use of electricity. So that's in all our projects, we try to promote really productive use of electricity. And we're also very happy to partner with companies, for example, that are working with electric cookers to increase our impact. So then a few of our projects. So as I mentioned, we have 7 projects in the pipeline. We're now there are 3 projects here on the screen. They're all in Kenya, but we're also looking to expand our projects in Tanzania. So in Kenya, we have now 3 power plants almost ready. Gitugu is 533 kilowatts, Wangaza 140 kilowatts, and Kiamahindu 110 kilowatts, which we also do together with Turbulent, also in the room here.
30 seconds.
Okay, I'm almost finished. The projects are almost fully financed. We are looking for 20% of the total financing. And that's also the last point I'm trying to bring here. And we're looking here to partner with financiers who are ready to step in with equity and quasi-equity, such as convertible loans. But also we want to partner with solar mini-grid operators, because we believe that hydropower can really provide a stable base load for these solar mini-grids, and so that you can also connect like the big anchor customers, where I think also the revenue is to make your mini-grid financially sustainable. So there's my contact details, but you can also hit me up in the hallway. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Move straight forward to Dario Traverso, CEO of Genius Water. Looking at the limited time we have.
Oh, looks a bit messed, the presentation. Let me see.
So
anyway.
keep it under 5 minutes.
Yes. Hi, everybody. My name is Dario Traverso, CEO and co-founder of Genius Water. We address the issue of water scarcity. So I'm not sure you're aware of how many people in the world nowadays are affected by lack of access to clean water and hygiene services. So we are talking about 2.3 billion people. So 1 out of 3 persons in the world don't have access to this primary resource. And the issue is that this number is going to increase up to 4.5 billion people in the next decades. We do believe that solar energy is key to solving and addressing this issue. And our mission is to provide access to clean and affordable water to private clients as well as to rural communities in a totally sustainable way. We can do this thanks to our 40 years experience in solar energy, as well as my father was one of the pioneers starting back in 1981, making solar cells, panel systems in Italy, as well as in Burundi, Kenya, Tanzania, Botswana, back in the 80s. And currently also one of the major solar panel manufacturers in North America with 1 gigawatt production capacity. We do believe in 100% sustainability as an approach. And in this regards, I'm talking about environmental sustainability, as we use only solar energy to power our solutions. I'm talking about social sustainability, as we do believe in inclusiveness of the communities we work with. We do believe in work and employment creation, training people, local team, and building know-how locally. And And so we are present in West Africa, in Cape Verde, as well as in East Africa, in Somaliland, Kenya, Malawi, and now also in Zanzibar and Tanzania. In Somaliland, we just commissioned a plant a couple of months ago for UNDP, providing access to 10,000 people, as I will show you later. The solution we have patented is based on reverse osmosis desalination and purification. It is powered 100% by solar energy without the need of batteries that are hard to dispose and short in lifetime. And our system is fully containerized, 100% autonomous, so it really works fully in sync with the sun without the need of any operator. It is very easy to install as it is pre-commissioned in Italy and then installed on site very, very easily. Most importantly, it is fully remotely monitored and managed so that we can do troubleshooting. We can know exactly any parameters in the operation of the system in real time. And this turns into two main things. One, that is our mandate, that is the long lifespan of our systems. And the other one is that we are basically we are sure that we provide access to low-cost water. And we are talking about that currently people in rural areas are accessing water to a cost that is from 10 to 20 up to 100 or more euros or dollars per cubic meter. With our solution, we are lowering the cost of water to below $0.5 per cubic meter. So we can turn, thanks to our solution, we can turn seawater as well as brackish groundwater, as well as contaminated water, through a process of desalination and purification into clean drinking water for villages, as well as to farmers and agriculture for irrigation, as well as clean water for the hotels and real estate industry. And this solution has been awarded as 2021 Solar Innovation of the Year by the African Solar Industry Association. So bringing a couple of examples here. So the one on the left is the system I was mentioning before. It has been commissioned 2 months ago in a village, in the Kainabo village in Somaliland. And it is providing 50,000 liters of clean drinking water to a rural community of over 10,000 people through water taps, as well as through water distributed via tankers in the nearby villages. On the right instead, you can see another solution that has been applied to the hotel sector, the tourism sector in Cape Verde, providing 30,000 liters from seawater to clean water for general purposes as well as for drinking purposes that allowed the hotel to avoid the use of plastic bottles. And this turned this hotel and resort into an eco resort. And this is what we are addressing and we are aiming to implement also in many other islands. And the good thing is that this owner had the opportunity to reduce its operating costs of energy and water by over 85% with a very short payback time of the system. In terms of business model, we do also provide water as a service. So without having our clients to invest in the systems, but taking care of the management, construction, and operation for the long term. Thank you very much. Open for any question.
Thank you. And last but not the least, to give us a presentation is Peter Scott, a CEO of Vane Manufacturing.
Maybe I'll stand up here so you can see me better here. Oh, now I don't know where are we. Oh God. Not moving there. Oh. Yeah, you've got to see my slides 8 times now already, so hope you don't mind seeing them one more time. Here we go. Slowly. We're getting closer. Great. Great. My name's Peter Scott. I'm the CEO and founder of Burn. So Burn is the world's largest cook stove company. So I know most of this conference is thinking about renewable energy or energy access. But one of the greatest challenges happening right now on the continent is the inaccess or lack of access to clean cooking. So it's bankrupting people. So people spend about $25 billion on fuel. It's destroying forests. Over half of deforestation comes from cooking, and it's also impacting the climate. And also it's massively impacting people's health. Over 500,000 people die every year from indoor air pollution. So I've spent the last 30 years trying to bring clean cooking to the world. And our model has always been, how do we design the best stoves in the world and make them locally? So that's what we've done since 2012, is we've built the world's largest manufacturing cook stove manufacturing facility. So we now employ over 1,000 people, approximately 50% women. We also have a 50-person research R&D department that's in Kenya. So we're not doing R&D outside of the country, this idea that you have to do this in Silicon Valley or in Europe. We have the best designers in the world working in Kenya, making the world's most fuel-efficient stoves. And right now, there's a huge explosion. Like it's such an exciting time, because for the last 8 years, we've made 1.5 million stoves. This year alone, we'll make 1.5 million stoves. Next year, we're on track to make 6 million, and the year after that, 15. The demand for clean cook stoves right now on the continent is something like 19 million per year, and we're hoping to provide all of those. So if you look at some of the stoves that we're producing now, so we have the world's most fuel-efficient charcoal stove. A recent study by Berkeley said that this stove was actually the single best investment a Kenyan household could make. And the net benefit to the Kenyan society over 3 years was $1,000 for a $40 investment. Next to it is our wood stove. This is the world's most fuel-efficient natural draft stove, designed and made in Kenya. So people still think you have to make things in China. That's a crazy idea. We can beat the Chinese on cost and quality, durability, performance. So now this is not only the most efficient, but also the most popular stove. We sell this stove all over the world, Papua New Guinea, all over Africa. But the real exciting thing is electric. So there's a huge potential to grow electric across the continent. People think there isn't access to electricity on the continent. That's true in rural settings, but on-grid, urban settings, across many markets, it's 75–80% access to electricity. So we're very excited about rolling out electric, especially in Tanzania. In all the countries we studied in Africa, Tanzania is the best opportunity for electric cooking. So our goal here is actually to establish a manufacturing plant in Tanzania to make a range of electric products as well as wood and charcoal. So yeah, this year we'll grow our manufacturing in Kenya. We'll also open new factories in Tanzania, Ghana, DRC, and Nigeria. So the question is why are we here? Well, we actually don't need money, so we're not here hat in hand. What we really want is we're looking for people to work with us. I need to hire over 1,000 people in Tanzania in the next year. So maybe some people here, you want to come join me, quit your day job doing something else, come and join Burn. You want to join? Yeah, okay, excellent. One of the really exciting things is carbon finance is really allowing us to now distribute some of our stoves, like our wood stoves, for free. So the demand in Tanzania for wood stoves is something like 6–7 million per year. So we now have a structure where we can raise carbon pre-finance and deliver the world's best wood stove to rural households for free. Of course, we need support from the Tanzanian government. We need to get letters of approval from the DNA, et cetera. We also want the VAT removed. So right now there's still VAT on clean cooking appliances. So yeah, really, if you want to talk to me afterwards, come and work with us. Thanks.
Thank you, Peter, for making it short. But unfortunately, Secretariat hasn't allowed me any injury time. So in this case, it means we are not taking questions from the audience. But our speakers are available at tea break. I think if you have some questions directed on particular presentations, you can meet our speakers during deep tea break. For now, Secretariat has advised us that we need to go into closing session. And I would just like to ask you to give a last round of applause to our powerful panel who have offered, I think, very good presentations including job offers. Thank you.